Greetings and welcome to the Fireside Chat. My name is Carson. With me is Jennifer, Matt, and Cameron. Say hello.
Hey, everyone.
Hello.
Hey, welcome. I'm glad you both could join us today. Ellen is
Uh-oh.
Oh, we're
Robot,
losing you.
something, so
Robot
she's
Jennifer.
We're losing you.
straight.
Oh boy, it's bad.
Uh, uh,
Yes, it seems like Discord's been having some issues today.
It seems so. But it's great to have you here, both. Uh, Jennifer might have a little bit of technical difficulties there, so we'll wait for her. Anyway, how are you guys doing?
Good. Yeah, just had lunch, so I'm a little bit sleepy, but I think I'll be set.
I see. I have a lovely night outside, so it's like 7 p.m. So I'm actually fine for now. Anyway, so what do we have for today? Tell us.
well, that's usually my job, but I don't know if I'm coming through.
You're
Yep,
you're coming
there
through
you go.
Am
now.
I right now? Okay, cool. All right. So Matt and Cameron are joining us to chat about Ember. Um, Finally, we get some office devs. Talk about what you guys do all day. You're always so busy, you can't join us. um, yeah, I'm really happy to have both of you here. I do want to touch on we had an Ember alpha test session last Friday. We will have another one today. I will let you all know what time that is a little bit later on in the stream. It's the same time it was last week, but not much point saying it right now. I'll let you know later. Mostly because if I try to give times this early in the stream, I always I always mess it up. Close to the end of the stream, I'll be like, okay, it's this many hours from now. Time math is hard.
It is.
Really is.
Indeed.
Math is hard. I'm a
Yeah.
programmer. I have my computer do math.
Same here. Same here.
I'm a designer. I have my math. You have his computer do math.
um,
Yeah, so, Embr
Well,
Alpha, I was not playing during it, but I was listening into the conversations as they were happening. Seemed to go pretty well.
Yeah.
Fun, exciting bugs to fix for me. I've done a couple of interviews with some of the people that were playing, and I'm hoping to get a couple more this time around as well, just to make sure that all design stuff is on track and things are landing the way that they're supposed to.
So, how do you decide who to interview?
I asked Leland to ask who's available.
Okay, fair enough.
I
So
see.
somebody watching the stream participated this week. There's a chance they could have an exclusive interview. Except you're
Yeah,
interviewing
one-on-one.
them, not the other way around.
A one-on-one special date, just me and the player. Yeah, no, absolutely. It's very useful for me to hear, um, feedback from other players because a lot of times it's just us in the office playing through it, and we only have so many play styles that we play, and then and we're very familiar with the game. We've been playing it, and we know every iteration from it for the past 2 years.
Except
Uh,
George.
except George. Well, George is a very special lad. Um, so it's really useful and handy for me for people who are less exposed to the game, and to hear their feedback and their pieces about everything, what they've experienced, and make sure it's in line with what the experiences that I'm designing for, or if it's better, how do I make sure that other people experience that betterness as well.
That's great. I know just from listening in, Leland and I both started out playing with players, but then we had enough people and there were so many questions going on. We kind of dropped out of the actual playing and just sort of listened as well toward the end of the session. I know there were a lot of questions, even just about known bugs that not just feedback on the game itself, but feedback on how we were running the session and how the existing information was laid out in the Discord and everything. That session last week was a test of multiple things, not even just the game, because that was the first one we've done through Discord. It's the first one that we've done on Steam. We are using a Steam build now. The previous ones were just distributed
EXEs that we sent out.
to the few chosen people. But we are looking to
This
expand
isn't
that
a
now.
virus, I promise.
Yeah, so now we have Steam keys for an alpha build. And we don't have an update this week, right? This build this week is the same as last week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just keep looking for bugs in that build and keep gathering just play testing data and experiences. And I know I don't have as much experience playing all of the builds through the last 2 years as either of you do. But yeah, even just seeing new players play it was definitely eye-opening in a lot of ways. Things that are obvious after you've played a game a lot, any game. You hear somebody else play it, and it's like, oh, that's not obvious, is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's always a lot of things that because you either designed it or heard the designer, have just known it for so long you forgot anyone could even not know it. And a lot of a lot of game design is just solving that problem.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, I was looking through the feedback suggestions channel in the Discord the other day, and someone was like, "Oh, I wish there was a way to throw things." There's a way to throw things.
Yeah.
But obviously that isn't clear or taught in any way. So just
Right.
making sure that because the tutorial is what I'm working on right now, actually. So all this data is particularly relevant. So making sure that all of that is communicated in one way or another um, is what seeing what gaps in knowledge people have just from playing the game, and making sure that people learn the right things without just vomiting text at them.
This is a little bit of I guess a broader question, but I'm curious. I've heard a lot of people talk about the how much do you assume a player knows, especially on PC. Where do you fall in that? Do you teach people? Do you have a little pop up that says use WAS to move, or is that something that you assume people know?
So right now, what I'm hoping for is there's going to be a character at the beginning of the tutorial that you see, and he'll be slightly off center, and you'll be standing away from him. And basically, if you look at him and move towards him by yourself, then the cues won't come up because clearly you know how to do that. But if you're just sitting there
Oh,
doing nothing, then if the cues will then say use the mouse to look, use WASD to move. Um, so just kind of pushing the
pretty
player,
cool.
and if they say, "Oh yeah, I know how to do this," then I don't have to say this is how you do this. But I've seen players. We've had some people in the office who have never played a first-person game on mouse and keyboard before.
Ooh.
And so I had someone boot up Ember, and they had their hands on the home row keys like they're about to type a Google Doc. And I was like, I don't even know where to begin with this. So, for players like that, it's really important to, show the mouse and, so use the mouse to look around, to use WASD to move. But for, a lot of other players, seeing that is like, oh my god, I know. You've already lost them in the tutorial, right? They've already decided that I don't need this at, second 2. So, making sure that there's space for both of those players is important.
It's
Yeah.
it's a really cool solution.
And thankfully for Ember, we're working in a very broad design space for difficulty. Like there's a lot of things you can do to make the game more difficult for yourself more than anything else. Like the very basics of the game. Like you don't even need to really move and look at the same time, which is a big issue when you're getting new players into first person experiences. And
Yeah.
so it's accessible in a lot of ways just by design, and then without being too easy for the people that are experienced in the space.
Oh yeah, no, there's definitely a bunch of really fun optimization, and Matt's a big fan of movement shooters, so there's a whole lot of really weird movement mechanics that you can do in the game, but none of them are necessary in order to complete the game. Um, there's no high skill like rocket jumping or anything that you have to do, um, but like that sort of really fun niche movement and optimization is possible in the game if the players want to look for it and experiment with it.
Well, okay. So there's a grappling hook in the game. It's not unlocked by default, so I don't know if everyone who played in the alpha has given it a try yet. I believe you do have to get $1,000 or something to buy it, at least in the current build.
Don't believe it's in that alpha build.
It is not in the current alpha build.
Oh, is it not?
We wanted to keep some of
Okay.
our hand a little closer to our chest. We don't want to have you have too many toys to play with.
Okay.
We want to tease a little bit, and the real fun stuff is down the road.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I believe it has been shown in a few of our Twitter posts and things anyway, so hopefully that wasn't too much of a reveal. I won't ask too much about that then.
No. I mean, the knowledge of the grappling hook is fine because people are like, oh, I want to use the grappling hook, and we're like, ho ho ho, you gotta wait, hee hee.
I know a lot of people do enjoy the grappling hook.
Grappling hook's really fun.
Yeah.
We do have the bounce pad
See,
in this build.
Yeah,
though.
and I haven't seen a lot of people playing around with that yet.
Yeah, I don't know how much people have been able to play, how much they've been able to unlock. Now I need to go check the build and see what's in it, because clearly I don't know.
For this round, for all you alpha testers out there listening, and I highly recommend that you definitely check out the item store. There's some cool tools, and there's some equipment that does some pretty dumb stuff as well. That's probably broken. Like not broken as in it doesn't work, but broken as in it's stupid overpowered.
Wow.
With just a little bit of playing around, and
helmets.
there's some really strong equipment and helmets in there right now that I'd highly encourage people to check around and play around with and just absolutely break. Like that's what this alpha test is for. Like break the game, tell us how you broke it, so that we can make sure that things are.
It's more expensive.
Yeah, I see the hair dryer and the jump pad are both in this.
Yeah.
Alpha. Okay. I had a question actually about the helmets and clothing items. They give different stats. Are you tied to that, or are you thinking about, is that like more of a testing thing? Like I've had a few players comment about tying stats to cosmetic items, and like, are you considering
the long-term plan on that is that you will be buying cosmetics that have stats on them, but later down the line, for even more money, as Embr loves to make money, you'll be able to transfer some of those, functions onto other items.
Oh, okay.
That's all in game. That's all in game money.
Yep.
That's not.
Yeah, not us money.
Gotcha.
Embr dollars.
Okay.
Yeah. For the really, the really fashionable responders will be able to get what they want on the cosmetics they want.
Right. Part of high fashion is the price behind it. If every schlub responder could tie whatever cosmetics they wanted, then it wouldn't feel special anymore. So we at Embr have created a high financial ceiling for our most dedicated responders, so that they can look and behave the best.
Okay. And yeah, just to restate that, if anyone either has already tried the alpha on Steam or is planning on trying to get into that today, be sure to check the store, check the shop, check the tools, check the gear, check all of the more info on all of the cosmetic items, because they do have additional buffs and stats on them. They are not just cosmetic.
Oh yeah.
And
don't forget to upgrade your tools.
Yes. Yeah. Check the upgrades menu. Check all the tools. You can upgrade a lot of them. A number of people are asking about
You can do a lot of dumb stuff.
Yeah, a lot of people were asking about the narrow spray for the hose. It's still there. It's just
Yep.
an upgrade.
Yep. Exactly. Exactly.
And Flint will yell at you a lot if you don't own one.
Yeah.
I
no,
saw
the-
that pop up on the phone.
So yeah, the narrow spray on the hose, that's a pretty cheap upgrade. The ladder is a pretty cheap upgrade as well. What's the other fundamental one we have people buy? There's like a third one.
Water grenade.
Water grenade, that's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if
Oh,
you
yeah,
don't
you don't
own any
start
of
with-
those, Flint will yell at you until you buy them, and he won't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Let's see. What are your plans for more game mode, if any? If you want to talk about that.
Yeah,
at all.
so we've got a couple in the works that we're not ready to talk too much about, but let's just say that your job security here at Embr might not be as good as you think it is.
Okay.
Your personal safety is of our paramount concern because of some previous altercations with rival companies.
I see.
Sounds
All right.
interesting.
Just I guess I'll just say there are other things planned beyond just
Yes, there's
just what we've
there'll
seen
be,
in the alpha so far.
yeah, there'll be a couple of other game modes for things besides, just grab the people and bring them to the exit.
Okay.
But those are very, very special, near to your hearts.
See, the last thing I had written down is what are your thoughts on VR support?
So
Oh no.
I'm a
Matt had
big fan of
very-
VR.
Matt had a
and-
very bad idea the other day that I loved.
and
Let's hear it.
well, it is something we would love to support. This game wasn't built from the ground up for VR, so if we do something, it might look like Embr, but it might play fairly differently. We might be able to make them work together, but it's hard to say without doing a lot of research and development on it. So if we ever decide to move that direction, you'll be hearing about it much further down the line.
Okay.
First-person movement in VR games is, an ongoing problem for any development. You can't just push a button and walk without getting super motion sick.
Yeah,
So-
I get really bad motion sickness.
Well, there's a teleportation and all,
Um,
right?
That
Yeah.
takes that's the problem is coding that, right? And we're all like coding and figuring out.
Well, the
Yeah.
real problem in Embr would be design. Is like if you can just teleport your way past all the fire, then
That's
yeah.
true.
You teleport through fire and just take like half
it's
your
like-
health and damage if you
yeah.
teleport through.
and then it's like why'd I
Or
get all this damage?
Or just stop
Yeah.
them at a fire. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
For what it's worth, if you ever want to test that, even in a state where you're just using the control stick to walk around, I am up for it. I'm good for it. I would love to see this even in that state. I would be all over
Oh
that.
gosh. Oh gosh, the frame rate issues as well.
Oh yeah.
VR needs to run at a very specific constant frame rate, otherwise it.
I
otherwise
heard
you-
it's at least like 80 FPS.
Yeah, 90 is kind of really golden, but
Yeah.
the index will run up to 144.
Is that like at 90 you get like 30 per eye or something like that? Is that the reason? Or I guess 60 would be 30. I don't know how it works.
You mean
I don't know
45?
how it works.
So it's a little weird, and it is again very platform and software dependent. But there's actually been a ton of research that developers are doing that'll let them essentially render the scene once and do relatively minor post processing on it in such a way that they can use like 90% of that rendering data over again for the other eye and just shift it very slightly
Oh,
using a lot of very complex math.
Huh, that's really cool. Yeah, that's what I had. That's what I had written down. So, yeah, I wanted to ask about that because I know I was talking with Leland about it, and I actually had somebody ask me about it during dev games last night as well.
It's the displaced hands, the hands no arms. It's just
Yeah, everybody's like, yeah, this looks
VR,
perfect.
VR. Like
Yeah, and stylistically, it looks, a little bit like Job Simulator kind of thing.
Yeah.
And, it definitely could be interesting. And I want to explore it if we can. It's just,
Would I be able to like, theoretically, would you be able to like spray water with one hand and hold the axe in the other, or would you still be limited to one tool?
yeah, we'd basically have to rewrite every tool in the game to support VR.
yeah.
Yeah, fair
It'd be a
enough.
lot
it
of
would
work.
be.
And I'm
Yeah, it
not
would
saying
be
it's not worth doing, but it's, it's not something we can do now.
the best. The best
Gotcha.
way to make VR happen is to buy Ember. You know,
Mhm.
if 27 people buy it when we release, we're gonna go, well, no VR for this game. Like, but
Tell your
if we're
friends wishlist us on Steam.
yeah,
Yeah.
if we're top of the Steam charts and every streamer and their little brother is playing Ember, we're gonna be like, we gotta get VR out.
So tell your
So
friends, tell your favorite streamer, wishlist
yeah,
it.
oh yeah,
Tell everyone else to
definitely.
wishlist it.
Upvote or posts on social media.
Yeah, we just posted an Embr post today.
Yeah, those always do really well.
You might want to shoot the link.
Yes. I'll grab it. There it is. Yeah, there's our Embr post from today. The look of Fire over the years. Yeah. I've been doing all this recording for these, and so there's a lot of flying through these fires. Like you see like a 10-second image, a 10-second video of the fire. I've seen like 3 hours of him getting the recordings. Like fly through. No, there's not quite enough fire. Fly through again. That might be
Bring
a little
back
too
square
much
fires.
fire. For fires.
I know. I miss our tofu people. The rescue clients used to just be these big, cream-colored blocks that just look like a big old chunk of tofu. I miss them every day. I love to watch them just slide around the ground. No animation, no anything.
I I remember a long time ago. The first build I ever played of Ember was that, and I was I had no information. I was so confused.
Yeah, you're like, what are these things?
And then I figured it out, but it's just squares.
I think I
rectangles moving around.
did play the build with like the player character being like this green thing or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when we first had multiplayer, your character was just a carpet textured capsule.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And it was fun. And just point at capsule people.
Oh yeah. Did we
It
have?
was
Oh,
really
we did
funny
have
because
the. Yeah,
we had
did have
the
clients at that point.
client models in, and so it would just be capsules picking up real looking people, throwing them around.
I liked how in like back when it was still the tofu people, when they were on the ground, they were rectangular blocks, but when you pick them up, they turn into little capsules, and then when you throw them, they turn back into blocks again. So yeah,
I don't
that's
know
just
if I
the
saw
funny
that.
placeholder things.
Because I know
It's
I.
funny.
Mm,
No, just like placeholder art and whatnot is always really funny. Particularly because that's what I'm doing a lot of right now. Is that I'll make the layout for a level and then I'll pass it on to the artists and I'll say generally like, oh, this level is kind of like this concept. This over here is a tree house and this is the main house and there's a bridge connecting them, but it's supposed to be kind of rickety and shaky. And they'll do their interpretation, and most of the time it's really solid, it's really good. But one of our levels there's like a teeter-totter, which of course when I did it was a long square on a short square, um, and so the artist, totally just interpreted it as something else, which is, totally valid. Um, but I was like, oh, this is important that this is a teeter totter. And she was like, oh wow, I had no idea what it was. I just kind of guessed.
I think I know what you're talking about. I think there's only one level I've seen that kind of thing on, but it hasn't been shown publicly yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a funny. Like I was like, this is a really cool prop, and I want to use it elsewhere, but it can't be here.
Oh. Let's see. I guess on level design topics, what has been your favorite level to design so far? Well, if it's something you can talk, if it's something that's really secret, but
I mean, like, this is a really lame, like, dumb answer, but I really like the tutorial. Like, I love tutorials. I think tutorials in games are super fun and interesting because I'm a boring, like, lame-o game designer. But I had a lot of fun researching this tutorial. I looked up other really memorable games tutorials and, really, broke them down. And I have like a big Google Doc of just, this is how the tutorial breaks this stuff down. These are the jokes that they say. This is the lines that they spend on joking versus the lines that they spend on conveying information and blah, blah, blah. This is how they space things up and la-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da. So I had a lot of fun, writing out that document and interpreting that into a level and all that sort of stuff was the level I had the most fun with.
The level I had the most fun designing, I cannot talk about yet.
gotcha. Fair enough.
My second most favorite levels are the ones I didn't design, so I get to play them unbiased.
No, we get Matt and we have, I think one of our best work practices that we do is like pretty much every afternoon we go out for coffee. So we get out of our desks and we walk down the block and we'll just talk about different design stuffs of the game. We've had a couple of levels that were like conceptually born there. Like someone will just make like a dumb joke and then the other one will go, that's a level now, and then I am always like shit because then it's my job to put this dumb level together most of the time. Or Matt puts it together and then I have to make it work, which is arguably worse. But yeah, no, there's a lot of a lot of these pieces and concepts, really do come from like our best ideas. Honestly, are just Matt and I kind of screwing around, technically on the clock, but really we're just goofing off, being big dumb boys, and we come up with some pretty funny stuff, and we're like, it's going in the game, and people love it too. So there's definitely a lot of levels like that in it where you're just playing it and you'll be like, how did they come up with this? And the answer is Lord only knows.
Yeah, because that's, I mean, that I guess that's kind of where I was going with like what was your favorite level. But since both of yours are things that haven't been seen yet, I was gonna go from there. Like, how did this level get designed? What was the thought that went into the layout and everything?
Well, yeah, we can talk about
I mean,
Uniform is my favorite one that's
talk about a specific one.
in the alpha build. I like that one because I don't even remember whose idea it was, but I love the rickety bridge on that one to the treehouse so much. I love watching players walk
Well-
across the bridge, grab the rescue client on the other end, and begin to walk back, and just the bridge falls out from under them, and just like.
Oh, that one.
Yeah. So I mean, a lot of that one was just we're experimenting in the design space of like, what if we had two buildings, and a lot of our previous two building tests were like, it's kind of a distraction. It's like you go to one, the other burns down, and that's not that much fun. And we were like, so let's maybe try something a little more asymmetrical. And that eventually led us to like, what, there's a bridge across, and like, what if it's just a tree house that someone's renting, through Airbnb or whatever,
Yeah,
as
yeah. No,
a room.
if you look closely, actually, you can see on the treehouse there is a for sale sign that is only on the treehouse and not on the main part of the house.
Which, like,
So.
we're here based in New York. That's a great deal.
Whoa, my own apartment, my own treehouse.
Fresh air, natural light. What more can you want?
A bathroom. There's no bathroom there. But there's if you look closely, our artists are really talented, and we actually have a lot of back and forth with them as well about fun little visual gags and whatnot in the levels. So if you look closely and you get to some areas before they completely burn down, there could be some pretty funny stuff, some pretty funny implications. Um, if you look closely between the lines and think about things, uh, with a more realistic mindset to them, you're like, wow, this is really dumb.
And occasionally incredibly dark.
Oh yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. We have fun with just the dumbness of it. And a lot of times if I get come down to a design decision of A or B, I will usually go with whatever one I think is funnier, and sometimes that varies from day to day. Sometimes just kind of on a whim. Sometimes I'm wrong and I have to redo the whole thing, but there's a million small decisions that I'm just like, hey, this is funny.
And 90% of the time it ends up with a feature request for me, and I go,
But it's always funny.
It is. It's the only way you get me to do anything.
It's true. I've had some very non-funny feature suggestions in the pipeline for like 2 years. I'm like, Matthew, please. And he's like, I'll get to it.
Someday.
And then other players start requesting it. I'm like, Matthew. And he's like, fine, I'll get to it. and he still hasn't even started.
Nope. Got other stuff to do.
All right.
Yes.
Oh wait, no. Before any of that, because people keep asking me, Guns of Icarus level.
What, like Embr on an airship?
Yeah,
No
yeah,
comment.
like a goldfish that's on
Oh.
fire. You have to save the 4 people from it. That kind of thing.
No comment.
And GFJ just left, but he keeps asking if choppy. All right, fair enough. All right, so I was gonna say ask if there's anything else about Embr or just anything unrelated to Embr going on in your lives or going on in the office that you want to talk a bit about. So you are our guests.
Do another Smash tourney, Matt.
No.
We
should.
need another next summer when we get a bunch of intern swarms in here. We like to play Smash Bros a lot in the office. During the summer when we have like 6 extra interns in here, we had like a big bracket up on the board, and we would do a game pretty much every afternoon. And so that was fun to watch. People go through the bracket, and all that stuff. I want to sometime.
Yeah, the Game Awards were super disappointing for that, though.
Yeah, I
No
know.
new Smash character, no Half-Life Alyx trailer, nothing.
I was positive that we were gonna get Dante May Cry last night in Smash. I was ready for them to announce it, and then I was ready for them to be like available now. Like I brought my controller so that when he was dropped, we could play.
Big disappointment.
I know.
All right. Yeah. Do you have any questions, Renee? Anything that we haven't covered that you want to know about?
I think we've pretty much covered everything unless I forgot something.
I've forgotten everything already.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what day it is.
We have about 20 minutes to spare. What do you guys think?
How's the weather?
A little cold, but not as cold as it was yesterday.
Let me check real quick. Yeah, it's dark outside.
It's like a nice New York cloudy day out right now.
Yeah, no, I get to wear my new jacket out, which was.
Oh my god, I got a I got a new tattoo, the baddest tattoo over here. Done by a black ink, but like I don't know if it'll show because it's on a weird place. But hold on. Yeah. So this is a Christmas tree with the moon
a
and
little bit to the left.
Yeah, I know, but I'm doing my best here. Hold on.
Oh, I
Okay.
can almost see it.
Yeah, this is the Christmas tree. You can see
Oh, okay. Oh, I see
all
it
the
now, yeah.
details, and this is a moon, and this is a cloud, and this is I don't know what the fuck that is, but yeah, it's done by a pen. Ah,
Were you bored?
yeah, sort of.
Um,
Uh, but yeah, otherwise I don't. Except for these, I don't have much new.
all right. So just like last week, instead of our hangout where we used to play Jackbox games or whatever else people wanted to do and hang out, we are doing our Ember alpha test on Steam. I will put out a ping in the Ember Discord server, shortly before that, and make sure you're all aware of when that's happening. Same time as always, but I'll still ping you.
Are we
And
gonna
that
add everyone?
I don't know. I'm always nervous about that. Everyone's. It's so many people.
Yeah, but everyone wants in the alpha.
That's true. That's true. Let me
That's
pull
why
up
that's
my.
why they're in the Discord.
That will be in just under 3.5 hours from right now. We do have dev games at the top of the hour. It will not be streamed because Renee has to go and Emily is sick today. So we do not have a streamer. I will be hanging out in the Guns of Icarus Discord server just like I did last night. And we'll hang out, play matches, get those Chalcedonian green dies if we win to. And yeah, that's all I've got for today.
Okay.
Because
Play Ember. Play the
Play
Ember
Ember
build.
today.
Ember. And now we
play Ember,
have.
wishlist Ember.
Yeah, now we have
Yeah.
17 minutes.
Yeah, we
Oh,
got
yeah,
time.
no.
Instead of 20.
Wishlist Ember, and then contact Leland if you have feedback from me, and he'll loop you into the secret Cameron chat.
And
Where...
contact Cameron if you have feedback for Leland.
Yes, correct. That's the way that we do things here. We don't like direct contact. We find that it's much too efficient. And we have to spend more of our workday working on stuff that way. If we have to pass it through a couple of different channels, that gives us something to do. Really refreshes our minds. Gets us working on a couple of different tasks. Let's just share the load here.
I'm just grabbing links to all the stuff.
Facebook
All the
doesn't
fun
like links,
pages
it
and
seems.
Oh, does it not?
Nah.
I don't like
Oh.
links.
And
I like maths.
you play Toon Link.
Doesn't mean I like playing links. Yeah, I'm that asshole. I play Link, and every time I go against a Link, I'm like,
I never
love playing
played
Link.
Smash Brothers.
You've never played Smash Brothers?
You should. It's a lot of fun.
And
Or
actually, it's
just play
really
Rivals
good.
of Ether.
I
Except
see.
don't because it's really hard.
I have only played the original on Nintendo 64.
Smash 64 is really good.
Smash 64 is legit, actually.
I
That was a
have
long time
like
ago.
I don't have any of those consoles. I only have a PC and an Xbox 360 even. So
Yeah, just play Rivals of Ether then.
Rivals of Ether.
It's a
Classic.
platform fighter for PC.
I heard also about like something. Wait, it's for free. I don't know what it is.
Rivals of Ether is just Smash Melee for furries.
I see.
All right.
It's more fun.
I should get Smash. I have a Nintendo Switch now.
Oh, you have.
There's
Smash
no
Ultimate.
reason.
Smash Ultimate is really good, no matter how good or bad you are at the game. Like, that's the great thing about Smash Brothers. Like, the fantastic design behind it is really any skill level. There's something for you to do.
Cool. Yeah, I know there's. I'm generally not into fighting games, so it's not like it's not something that I'm like right away like yes, this is. But yeah.
I'm not into fighting games either, but like sometimes I play them if they look awesome and play well. For instance, I was playing recently. I was playing Blaze Blue, anime style fighting game. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I'm not super a fan of traditional fighters.
Yeah,
I
I don't
can.
play any fighters except for like
They
Smash.
they tend to
Smash.
have
Gotcha.
too high a barrier of entry for me.
Yeah, that's true.
And I've already put so much time into learning how to play Smash well, and those skills don't really translate outside of Smash, honestly. Because Smash Brothers is about relative positioning most of the time, where other fighting games is a lot more focused on uh, reading your opponent's moves and countering with your own move, where Smash is about your placement on the screen. And obviously, traditional fighters, your placement is important, and in Smash, reading what move your opponent is going to do is important. But the weight of that is pretty drastic.
Gotcha.
I see.
Yeah, I know. Smash is still relatively simple in terms. At least, let me rephrase that question. There's not there's no like complex button inputs like
Yeah,
in traditional
Oh, yeah.
fighting.
the controls of Smash are very obvious, and you can get very good at them because there's subtle things that combine into more complicated things. But I say never, but they added a bunch of regular fighting game characters into the game.
Oh, okay.
But you essentially never have to, learn complex motions or remember a combo string. It's, you do a direction and a button, and that's 99% of the things you have to do.
Yeah,
Right.
no.
That's
Someone
good
who
for me.
plays Smash casually. Yeah, someone who plays Smash casually can look at, the top players and say like, "Oh, I know how to do all of those moves." You might not know how to string them together quite as expertly, but you're like, "Oh, I know that one. You press side B and he does that." Like, "Oh, I know that one. You press A when you're in the air and it does that." Um,
Yeah, I
so
don't have to
it's
learn 10 different moves for 40 different characters.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's pretty much if you want to win at Smash Brothers, jump and press the A button.
I'll remember.
Yeah.
I'll keep that in mind.
I guess, yeah.
Any real competitive smashers in the chat are gonna be really mad at that one because it's so true on so many levels.
Jump and press the A button.
Dude, nairs are so good.
Well, you press jump for a very short amount of time, and then you press a direction and the A button, and then you hit down to fall faster. But again, there is complexity you can add together, but all of those are 1 to 2 inputs.
Buddy, I play Palutena, I just jump and press the A button.
Yeah, just play Palutena,
Carried.
neutral airs.
Carried by my character.
You lost me. You lost me about 10 seconds ago.
Yeah, just press the jump button and then the A button. That's not where the A button is on a Switch controller.
Here, I've got one. Ugh,
Oh.
I'm in the Smash room. Ah,
Oh?
yeah. I mean, just because you can hear me on Matt's mic, so. Oh, where's the camera?
Ah.
It's a pro controller, right?
Yep.
Yeah. It's because you don't want to step your Joy-Con, so you press the jump button, and then you just press the A button, and then you win. You
And
push
then you
these
win.
two at the same time, and then you win. You win the game. It's the win button.
I see.
Yeah, if you wanted to stream yourselves playing Smash sometime,
Ooh.
Oh,
you
we should
could.
totally hook up a. Yeah, we should get like a snowball or something and put
Just
a.
do like a. Just like. It's the Muse devs on the Muse
Yeah.
channel just playing.
Yeah.
Oh, we'd finally get
a
all those
completely different
Eugeneisms
game.
that we want to write down. We have one of our artists, Eugene, shouts the most hilarious things playing Smash. Like they don't make any sense, and you think about it for 10 seconds, you go, "Oh, I guess how that could make sense." Like
Don't
he'll
try
kill
and
you
think
with
and play Smash at the same time. It's a bad idea.
yeah, he'll win with some like kick attack, and he'll just yell foot. And you'll have lost, and he just goes foot, and you're like, what? Like that's his trash talk. It's just yelling foot. It's great, and it's just a whole bunch of stuff like that. We really should. We really should just get like a pop of the webcam in here. Get like a Blue Yeti snowball. Hook up something into the Switch HDMI.
That could be cool. I'm sure we have a lot of people who have Smash. If you wanted to play with random random people, I don't know
Matt,
exactly how all that works.
Matt loves Smash Online.
Oh,
I hate Smash Online. Smash Online's so bad.
because people are good, or
Connection's bad.
oh, I
Oh.
see.
Servers are really bad.
I see
Yeah,
those
well,
kinds.
That's
I mean,
Okay.
it would be fine if like they would connect you to if they would like prioritize ping and do all sorts of things they're not doing, because I don't know why Nintendo doesn't understand online, but they don't.
Yeah,
And it's
they
really
don't even
sad.
have the excuse of it's free anymore.
Yeah,
Like
'cause-
back in the Wii U days, I excuse it 'cause like, oh, it's free servers, whatever. But now you gotta pay like $60 a year.
yeah, I
It's
stopped
Oh,
paying
for
because
Nintendo.
it wasn't any good.
Yeah, the premium. Yeah, I've heard
it's
about
not,
that.
it's. I thought for sure that I was like, oh, this will increase the quality because we're paying for it now. Silly me.
Yeah.
Hmm. It's just paying for I guess for new. Wait. Does Smash have DLC or are the characters free?
Yeah. No,
Uh,
yeah,
Oh, so you pay for online and then also have to pay for DLC.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
but it's that online is across all Nintendo games. So the one online
Right.
works for Mario Kart and Mario Party.
Yeah, I
The-
was
the
gonna say that
DLC
it's going-
fighters are absolutely worth it.
Oh yeah, those are
Gotcha.
great.
Yeah, I was gonna say that it's
easy
going
wins.
to Mario Maker development, but um, that's where it's all going, is just to adding new stuff to Mario Maker.
yeah, that last update.
I haven't tried it since I haven't played it.
I don't play Mario Maker because after making levels all day, I don't want to go home and make different levels. But
That's fair. It's fair.
I enjoy watching people play Mario Maker. I enjoy watching like amateur designers and whatnot naturally discover like a lot of rules that I take for granted. Like one of the YouTubers I watch is like, oh, I got this great idea where I can use coins to like imply to people where to go, and I was like, yep.
That's basically why coins exist in Mario at all.
Yeah.
And this is
It's
like
like-
months into the game.
Oh.
He had this realization.
Did-
It's fun to me.
Does Embr have an equivalent of coins to guide the player around? And if so, what is it?
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, I don't think it does.
I wouldn't say there's anything quite so
use-
guiding.
Yeah, no, I mean there's like doors. Players like if you see a door, you want to see what's behind it. Doorways
Lighting.
as well. Yeah,
All
lighting.
video games use lighting to guide players.
Yeah, we use lighting a lot. Mostly when I want. The thing is that there's no like single path through Embr levels.
Right.
You know. And I don't want to guide players too hard because then it doesn't feel like a house anymore. It feels like a hallway. So that's why the client
Makes sense.
finder is such an important tool, because that part of the gameplay is finding your own way through the house. So I design with paths in mind, and I place obstacles in the way of those paths and whatnot. But we always encourage players to circumvent that and come up with more complex ways to get to things that might allow them to avoid some obstacles, or they go the simplest way and go through the obstacle. Yeah, so we don't have quite as heavy pathing mechanics as something like a platformer would, but
Which brings me back to
Still-
George playtesting. He hates fire. He will do everything in his power to go around fire, no matter what.
Oh.
And he goes, I didn't fight any fire in this level. And we go, but but why?
he's like, yeah, no, I just never encountered it, and it's because he doesn't go inside. That's where the fire is.
think it's really funny. I think I'm completely the opposite. I especially when I'm recording, I always have to be like, okay, I got to stop and actually like, put out a little more fire, because I have a tendency to either just like spray forward and like take whatever damage I take if I'm going to, or just be like, I can cross this without using water. I can make it. And then I realize my entire screen is red.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, extinguishing fires actually buys you more time level. Like that little bar at the top is affected by
Yeah, that's
how much
Oh, well,
space
that's
is
a
on
good
that's
fire.
tip.
not a timer.
That's a good thing
Yeah.
for me to know.
Yeah,
You didn't know.
it's not actually a timer. It's a representation of a percent of the house that's on fire.
I didn't
So-
know that.
You
Yeah,
didn't?
so the more the fire spreads and the more stuff gets destroyed in the house, the lower that house health goes.
Meanwhile, I'm just carrying a person through an inferno and wondering why they don't make it.
Big thing. Big
Just click
thing.
the mouse button.
Yeah, every so often, just twitch your pointer finger.
Yeah. Putting out fires is a good thing.
It will save
Usually,
lives.
yes.
Putting out fires in the firefighting game.
What a
Hot tip for
concept.
Yeah. I'm just like, well, putting out fires takes time. I gotta do this fast.
ya.
It's true. It does take time. Go with those speedrun strats. If you want the real speedrun strats, just spray the water behind you and push yourself
Oh,
backwards.
hey. It's a good idea.
Well, does that work?
Big tip.
Does that really work?
It pushes a bit, yeah. Well, that's my problem with spraying it forward, is it slows me down.
I didn't know that.
Just spray backwards.
It's like in what was like the is it Grand Theft Auto San Andreas speedruns? They like get in the tank and then shoot it backwards the whole time. So
I
they
think
go
that was in
faster.
3 also.
Okay, it's been a while.
You get a tank and like shoot backwards. I
Because it
learned that.
pushes you.
Yeah.
Same deal with the water hose.
Oh, I hope people do Embr speedruns. I can't wait to see what bugs are found.
Me too.
Yeah, if anyone knows any speedrunners, have them check out Embr. There's a
Wishlist
lot of dumb
Embr.
speedrun stuff you can do.
Wishlist Embr.
Wishlist
Mm.
Embr.
Excuse me.
Tell your
Wishlist Embr
friends,
on
your
Twitter.
family.
Check out our social media. Links are in the panels below on Twitch. And that is about all the time we have for today. Any final
Indeed.
thoughts?
Fire
Wishlist
bad.
Wishlist Embr.
Water good.
Wishlist Embr.
Yeah, and
Hopefully
with
seriously,
Water
Wishlist
good.
Embr
I'll
helps us
remember.
out a whole lot.
I need to actually put out the fires.
yeah.
It would help.
Save lives.
Fighting fires in the firefighting game. What a concept.
Yeah, it's supposed to be fight fire, save lives. I've just been saving lives.
Earning money.
Trying to save lives.
Trying. I just blaze out of the house. Everything's on fire. I fall too far, and I lose the person. Yeah.
And with that, we're going to end things here. So, thanks for watching, and with that, we'll see you on the next stream. Have a good one.
See ya.
Yeah.
Bye guys.
Wait, where's my OBS? Oh, there it is.